Previously, we looked at an attribute inside of a Java class. Now, we also looked at access modifiers like public. Now, public is really dangerous because it allows any class anywhere to have direct access to our properties. And we don't want that. So I'm going to make this private. However, trying to access the object's properties now is going to be a problem. So we'll need to create a method to allow us to access it. So I'm going to do something like create a public method, which will allow us direct access. So I'm going to specify public int getX. Now I've created a function, or in object-oriented programming parlance, it's going to be a method because it belongs to a class. So I'm going to return this.x. I use the this keyword, that way I know what variable I'm talking about. I'm talking about the specific instance of x. This is sometimes referred to as a getter because I get the value. If I want to set the value, I'll create another public function that's going to allow us to access it. We're not going to return any values, so I'm going to have a void. We're going to call it setX, and we're going to pass a new value to it. So I'll say int value. Now, within my setX, I can do things to make sure that the value is correct. So for example, if I want to make sure I only had a positive value, I could say something like if value is greater than or equal to 0, this.x equals value. If this was not true, I could maybe throw an exception, or I could deliver an error message, anything I want to. In this simple case, I'm just going to simply eliminate it. Now, instead of saying o1.x, I'll say o1.setX is equal to, and then give it my value. I'll do the same thing for O2. And these are pretty common things I can look at doing. The whole idea being that I'm trying to describe what's going to happen with my object so that I can protect my data. In a complex project, I may need to refactor it or change the way my data is stored. I can still use those same methods of getX and setX to potentially store a different way of doing my data. Maybe I overload these methods, maybe I do something else. Either way, I get to control how my data is viewed and stored internally, and I protect it from having direct access. This does slow down my application just a little bit, but the idea of making sure that my data is correct is more important.